Joining us again. Sorry about that little technical difficulty, user error on my part. Again, my name is Stacy Biddle. Welcome to Show Your Best Self with Indeed Resume. We here at Workforce Development Department at Goodwill Columbus are here to help you find your next best job or even start a brand new career. We've created this YouTube page that will put many different videos on here that will help you with a job search. It will help you, like today, we're talking about creating a resume on Indeed. We will also add career search using Indeed. There will be videos on here about networking and interviewing tips and tools and all kinds of things that will be available for you to use so that you will be your best self when you get that interview and land that next best job. So today what we're going to talk about is showing your best self with Indeed Resume. Goodwill and Indeed does have a partnership, so we're going to go through all that and show how it's to your advantage. And please make sure that ask questions, comments, because we do have a moderator here, one Ms. Valerie Hawes. Thank you so much for joining us. And she is a professional expert at everything career development, so she will be willing and very much able to help you today. Please make sure that you reach out to our other social media pages, especially our Facebook page. Just search Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development, where there's all kinds of different resources there available as well, and how you can contact us via email, phone, text, and even Facebook Messenger. So if you need to reach out and have questions about our different programs or just need help with finding a job, we have career counselors here that will help you do that and get connected. So we are going to go ahead and start. I'm going to share our screen so that we can go through the PowerPoint. All right, I hope everyone is having a great day. It is beautiful outside. I was lucky enough to get out a little bit for lunch, so hopefully you guys can get out as well. All right, looks like we're up. So Indeed, show your best self with a resume Indeed. This is how you can build your resume in 5 simple steps, and we'll go through that today. And of course, there will be pauses where I'll just say, you're watching a live feedback or a live version right now, but it will be recorded. So if you want to press pause and fill out that section, please feel free to do so. All right, so let's get started. All right, this workshop is empowered by Indeed. Indeed's mission is to help people get jobs. Indeed is the #1 job site in the world, and 3 million companies use Indeed to hire. There are over 20 million job listings there for you to peruse from, and of course, filter it down to the city where you would like to work in. It is a powerful tool. Use Indeed, and you will be successful. So let's get started. To make that good impression, you need to put your best foot forward. Today, we'll show you how to do that. We're going to go through 5 steps to help you create your best online resume with Indeed. And there are immediate benefits to having a resume on Indeed. So first benefit is your resume will look great. Indeed formats your resume for you so that it can be shared with employers on a mobile device, on a desktop, on a tablet, really easy. If you want a hard copy of your resume, you have the opportunity to download it as a PDF file and then print it out or email it to potential employers. It is easy to apply for jobs. With an Indeed resume, you can apply for jobs with just a few clicks, even from your phone. Another benefit is it allows employers to search for you and discover you, because there are 1.5 million employers who use Indeed to search for their next hire. With a public resume on Indeed, they can search for and find you. And we'll go over how to set that up today as well. All right, so let's get started. All right here is our Goodwill Indeed partnership page. You will find it at www.indeed.com/partner/Goodwill. And this is where you launch into Indeed from. You can create your resume here, you can do a career search here, and really soon, as in tomorrow, we will have that career search class up here for you on YouTube. So that's great. So be sure to use our landing site here. If you don't have an Indeed account, you do need to create one. It's real easy. So having an account is necessary to create an actual resume on Indeed. You can easily apply to jobs and get discovered by employers. So to create an account, all you gotta do is click create account. And then if you do have an Indeed account, you just sign in by clicking the sign in button at the top right of your screen and then enter your email and your password. Once you've created your account, you will be shown two options. One, upload your resume, or two, build your resume. And today we're going to take you through how to build the resume. All right, the next pop-up you would see is one that says confirm your Indeed account. Is action needed. You need to do this. And then you would just click on that confirm your Indeed account, where you need to go to open your email inbox, then open that email from Indeed, click on confirm, and then it will open up another window, and that will be then you are signed in. And you'll know you're signed in that when you look up at the top right, it'll say your email and not actually where it says sign in. So if your email is up there, you are good to go. You are signed in and ready to get started. All right, so again, thank you for coming today to our live YouTube session. It is a production of Goodwill Columbus Workforce Development Team. Feel free to post comments and questions. All right, so, many of you have probably written a resume before, and you realize that while there's some room for creativity or individuality, you have to have these 5 essential elements. You have to have them. And we're going to go through each one of these elements for you today. So the first one is your contact information. The second one is relevant education or certifications. The third, most relevant work and volunteer experience. Fourth, relevant skills and your level of mastery. And fifth, finally, your summary. And that will be like the top, the eye catcher that your employer wants to read, and make sure that, read that and see if you are the best fit for the job. And then they're going to read further down your resume. Another bonus feature that Indeed offers is they have a whole section on sample resumes. And then the website is there at the bottom, www.indeed.com/career-advice/resume/samples. And what's good is because, maybe you need to look up some different language and how it's used on resume concerning different industries. So like if you are looking for an administrative assistant position, you just search administrative assistant and different sample resumes will come up. And that will really help you build strong language that employers really like to read. All right. Now let's break down each section. The first section we're going to address is the contact information. You obviously need to have your contact information, but let's go over some kind of fine points of this. Definitely have your first and your last name, no nicknames. You want your professional name on there. And then let's talk about the address. Just put the city and the state. Remember that that's sensitive information. So don't put your street address. You don't want that. You don't want to put out that sensitive information for employers just yet. Provide that for them when you get hired. So definitely don't put your street address on there just for security's sake. Also, there's something called unconscious bias that we may have that we don't really know that we're doing. And sometimes that can happen with addresses in like particular neighborhoods. So if they can identify you by a particular neighborhood, it may lend to a little bit of unconscious bias either way. So we want to make sure that that's gone. All right. We want to make your best self and make sure that, just city and state is fine. Also, perhaps like maybe you want to work in Columbus and you live really far outside Columbus and you put that on your resume, that might lead to some unconscious bias as well. So if you want to work in Columbus, it's completely okay to put Columbus, Ohio, if you don't live there. All right, so that is up for that. And so the next part, and this is where I'm going to talk about public versus private posting of your resume on Indeed. So if you put it as public, that top option there, your resume will be available to be seen by employers, and they can search you by entering in different keywords, and then your resume may come up. Your personal contact information will not. Typically what will happen is employers will push you an email through Indeed, expressing interest. And then you reply through that email. And then that's when that ball gets rolling and you can start sharing everything else. So the advantage of having it public, again, is that employers can search you. If you don't want that to happen, and that's completely fine, this is a personal preference, you can set it to private. That just means that employers, they can't search you. However, you can still use that resume on Indeed to apply. All right, so this was the first section. This is where if you're watching this video playback, that you would select pause and then go ahead and get to that Indeed landing page and go ahead and fill out that contact information. Sometimes it's just really nice to not do it all at once and just kind of section it out. So that's why we're doing that here. But since this is live, we're going to move on. All right, education. The next step is to add your education. So the importance of your educational background will vary based on the job or industry that you are looking to get in. If you haven't completed a degree, that's okay. You can list the date you attended in the courses that you've taken. There's no need to include your year of graduation or your GPA. There's no need for that. You can leave that off there, especially if it's been a while since you've graduated. That's okay. You don't have to put that there. The next section, for many jobs, they might be looking for certifications or licensures. So that's where you would add it right here by clicking on that little plus button, and you would enter whatever certifications and licensures that you have achieved. And then that's education. So what you can do now is go ahead and press pause if you're watching this on video playback, and you can fill out that education section. Let's talk about work experience. It is not necessary to include everything you did in your past jobs. Instead, focus on achievements rather than your responsibilities. All right, we're going to take a little time on this slide because this is very, very important in building the correct wording for your resume. So presenting your experience clearly and confidently is key for this section. Here's some tips to make your experiences shine to employers. Avoid using overused phrases or words. These are like words that have become so overused, they've lost meaning and won't help you stand out against other people that are applying for that job. Try to avoid like business jargon, like wheelhouse or bottom line or synergy, or general phrases of self-promotion, like you're a go-getter or you're a people person. Those are just overused. Don't even put them on there. So number 2, show your soft skills. When your employers read your resume, they are looking for any clue about what type of employee you will be. So show them your best qualities. For instance, show how organized you are. If the ideas flow naturally across the page of your resume and the information categories are meaningful, it speaks volumes about how you think and how you organize your priorities. Or show your grit and tenacity. Employers want to know that you'll stick it out when times get tough. Highlighting percentages or increases or decreases, numbers of people served, or products are made a way to show your own accountability and how you create results. So for example, try to put in as many quantifiable things that you have in your resume that you've done in your previous jobs. So if you're like in sales, maybe you were, spearheaded a team that created a new product that increased sales by 55%. Not bad. That's quantifiable, right? So definitely try to look for those types of things to include in your resume. This is so important. Number 3, please take time to proofread your resume. If there is one thing that turns off employers, it is a sloppy resume filled with grammatical errors or spelling errors. I mean, there is just no need for that. Please take time to proofread it. Read it backwards, bottom up. Sometimes that helps you catch mistakes. And most importantly, give it to someone else to read. Give it to a mentor, a friend, somebody that you trust that can give honest feedback, or give it to a Goodwill workforce development employee. We can help you out with those as well, right? So make sure, please, please, please proofread it. All right. So include your prior roles to show growth. So maybe you've like been with a company for a while. Definitely make sure that you show your roles because it shows that, not only are you loyal, you're a hard worker, that you have also grown within the company and maybe even added responsibility. So that is impressive when employers read those things. Definitely use action verbs. And on this slide, there's a good list of action verbs to use. And you can also Google resume action verbs. You can find all kinds of help out there for that. So action verbs like achieved, accelerated, assembled, spearheaded, drove, anything like that. So let me give you an example of one sentence that, has a not so, it's okay. And then change it by using an action verb. So for instance, held weekly status meetings to share process updates. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Describes what you did. However, listen to this. Spearheaded weekly status meetings to communicate efficient gains. Yeah, that is so much better. All right, so try to definitely use your action verbs there. So now would be a time that you would take a pause and go ahead and work on your work experience. This is probably going to be that's your meat of your resume. It's going to take a while and that's okay. Again, reach out for help. Definitely, we can help you, colleagues, mentors, have them proofread it, use those action verbs to make your resume shine. Also, make sure to give us your feedback. As you see that there is a link there. Take the time and go ahead and give us your feedback on our form. We're always looking to constantly develop and improve and offer services that you are interested in. So this next section is explaining gaps in employment. So you may be confused or unsure about how to present some or part of your work history. So while it wouldn't be noted on your resume, you may want to prepare an explanation that would explain maybe an employment gap. So maybe you left, as it shows on this slide, you left to be a caretaker. That's a good example of explaining, why you left to become a caretaker, or if you were laid off, or if you were fired for your job, or if you took off time for personal reasons. So it may reflect a little gap in your employment, and that does not necessarily mean that you won't be granted an interview. But in that interview, definitely be prepared to talk about that gap. And here's some advice on how to talk about that. Go ahead and read through those. If one of those fits your situation, use that as a launching pad. But here's the thing. So taking the time beforehand to work out how you can address this gap in a way projects confidence and positivity. You have to be honest and give specifics on how you spent that time. So for instance, mention anything you've read to keep up on the industry, how you stayed in touch with your colleagues, or what you've done to prepare for your reentry. Also, bring up any freelance work, volunteer or community positions you've held, maybe classes or events you've attended, or any other way you've advanced your professional skills. So basically, the goal is to convey that you've been engaged even though you haven't been formally employed. Next is your skills section. So what you can enter here is all the skills that can be highlighted in your resume. All you would need to do is click on the plus button and it would add it to your Indeed resume. There's another really great section that you'll come across here with your Indeed resume, and that's the Indeed assessments. And there's like 50 plus assessments that you can take. That takes about 5 to 10 minutes depending on the assessment. And then you take them and then they'll basically grade you. So you can be graded as a master level or an expert level at Microsoft Word. So if you are applying the administrative position, administrative assistant position, and definitely having some really great skills on Microsoft Word, and you took that assessment and you scored to be an expert level, definitely make sure you add that to Indeed resume. Now, there's the other side. Maybe you didn't score as high as you wanted. You do not have to put that. They have the option for you to say, publish the resume or do not. So don't worry about it. You can do either one you would like. And now it would be your turn to enter the skills section on your resume. So you can press pause now and use this time to add your skills and maybe take some of those assessments. But otherwise, we're just going to move on to the summary section. All right, so the summary gives employers a quick idea of who you are and what you can do and see what makes you the right person for the job. All right, this is one way to help you stand out. And we're going to give you some tips in order to do that. So let's talk about what a summary is. All right, so a summary is a concise overview of your qualifications for the job. Think of it as a condensed cover letter. It is one of the first things an employer sees on your resume. It should highlight your key accomplishments or skills that are the most applicable to your job so that it grabs your employer's attention. So if you're a seasoned professional, the top, what you see there on the slide is what you would use, the kind of format you would use. If you're kind of new to all this, that would be the second part. So if you're a seasoned professional, a resume headline gives you the opportunity to call out a few of your greatest accomplishments and levels of experience. If you have a limited job experience or you're just entering the job market for the first time, the headline will give you an opportunity to share the qualities that will help you grow your career. All right, so these are the different formulas to do that. Now let me show you some examples. All right, so for example, you're a seasoned professional, your resume summary may look like the top one here. Dedicated warehouse worker with 7+ years experience in the shipping department. Responsibilities included customer service, picking and preparing items for shipment, assisting in receiving shipments, and maintaining a clean work environment. The second one is addressing if you may have limited type of work experience or are just entering the work field. High energy bilingual nursing student seeking to develop more extensive experience working with elderly patients. Proven leadership capabilities, likes to take initiative and seek out new challenges. Sounds good. Makes yourself shine. Now would be a good time to pause and work on that summary. All right, so that's what we will do there. But we're going to move on. Okay, the next part, let's see what your new resume looks like. So you would click on download your resume on your Indeed account. This will download a PDF file that you can open on your computer. Notice that your resume is already formatted for you. That is great, it's so helpful. It follows best practices on resume development, including the format and the usage of white space, black modern font, and again, as a PDF, so no one can change it. So that's great. We know that creating your best resume takes time and hard work, but it's so worth it in the end. And after this training, please make sure that you're continuing to update and tweak and make sure it's the best possible, show of you. You want to make it to shine. And there's another reason why you should edit your resume on Indeed and try to edit it maybe once a month. So here's that reason. Resumes that are recently updated get pushed to the top of the resume search results for employers and are marked recently updated. So if you are actively searching for a new job, and update your resume at least once a month, if only like just the smallest little tweak so that you can get pushed to the top of that list. Good trick. Keep that in mind. All right, so then you would click on download your resume, and again, it'll already be formatted for you. And that is your 5 steps to building a resume on Indeed. We thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to stop sharing this and say goodbye. Thank you again. Please make sure you reach out to us. Look at our Facebook page and all the resources that we have there. We also have additional videos that will be soon to be added to this channel. So make sure you stay tuned. Reach out to us via email, phone, text, Facebook message. All of that information is on our About section on our Facebook. Thank you again for taking the time. We are here to help you learn, grow, and advance your career. And we hope you all stay safe out there. Thanks. Have a great day.